Hi, my name's Mike. Welcome to my shop. If you've seen my other videos, welcome back. Thanks for watching. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I cut these hand cut dovetails. I've been practicing, so stay tuned and see how I've been doing. Stick around because I had some fun making this video. Okay, so here we go. I'll take you through it. This is just me here unpackaging the saw that I used to cut the joinery so you can see how fine the teeth are. So here I just measured in a 1/4 inch from each side. Right at the bottom I just marked off where to make up the difference of the other piece. The other piece is a lot shorter and smaller than this one, so these are scraps that I just used to cut. So you'll see me follow from one end to the other with the dividers starting at the first line, ending in between the last line and the end of the board. This will take a few tries. You'll have to adjust the dividers a little bit each time as you go until you start at the first line and wind up between that last line and the end of the board. And then you just follow that same pattern back. And so you can see here I'm just pushing in and making the marks. Here I am using a combination square just to mark my marks with a pencil so I can see them. Here I'm using the other piece of wood that's going to join with it to mark the thickness of it. So I make sure I cut the joinery as deep as it needs to go, but not too deep. Here I'm carrying the angle down with the angle finder. I measured out about 9 degrees and then just carried those angles down. So you can see here what the dovetails will look like when they're cut out. I'm starting out my cuts straight with the pull saw. I'm still having a hard time remembering to do this, but with the pull saw you want to start out by pushing forward to kind of get your groove, and then you can push forward and back, and of course you'll be cutting on the back, not the forward like you would normally with a Western style saw. So after I cut those, I just mark the side, so where I'm going to cut out for the pins. Just using a chisel and chiseling out a little knife wall there so I have something to rest the saw up against as I cut to make sure I keep my cut nice and straight. I flip it over here in the vise and do the same thing on the other side. I can't emphasize enough how much easier all this will be having sharp chisels. Anytime you're doing anything with especially hand tools, you want to sharpen your tools good before you start on your next project, and depending on how long the project is, you probably want to sharpen it along the way as you're working. So here I'm just using a coping saw to get down in there to remove most of the waste. I'm actually going to be using what I am calling my dovetail saw to kind of do the first major cut so I can get the coping saw in there easily and use that to remove the rest of the waste. Then come back in with the chisel, bevel side up, flat side down, and just coming in and paring out the rest of the waste.
I thought they were blocks.
They could be blocks, but they're pieces of wood. That's what blocks are made out of. You don't want to, from one side to the other, you don't want to go all the way with the chisel because you'll break the other side out. So you'll see what I did there is I flipped the piece of wood around and I came in at it from the other side and met in the middle. This way you don't have tear out on either side. So this is the piece that's going to be joining the piece we cut. As you can see, I'm just resting that on top. You can see where I'm pointing. I want that to be just butted up and met with the other piece as I trace out the lines onto the piece I'm going to be cutting the pins out of. So again, using the same saw, pushing forward to start my cut and pushing forward and back, cutting on the back pull. Yep, now it is. And I carried the lines straight down, and you're just going to be cutting straight down on the pins, so you don't be cutting at an angle. So this will be easy. And this is why it's so nice to have the reinforcement on the back of this saw. It keeps your cuts nice and straight. So what I do is I cut out where I'm going to be removing the waste from, and then I cut down kind of in the center and then in from the sides, and I try to remove as much waste as I can with this saw. There may be better ways to do it. You may have a better way of doing it yourself. If you do, I'd be interested if you could leave me a comment and let me know. I'm going to be doing a lot of these, so any help you can, or any tips you can give me, that'd be great. But this is how I did it, and it worked for me so far.
Sir, do we get to win this time?
Sorry, sometimes I just can't help myself. And I'm using the wider chisel this time because these gaps are a lot wider where the dovetails are going to fit down in between these pins. So I am using a hammer here a little bit, just my mallet, and I just made this out of a scrap piece of 4x4. Maybe I'll do a video on how I made this. So you'll just use the chisel to make it nice and flat on the inside, and like I said, if you do go in too deep in the center, it's no big deal, as long as your edges are flush and flat. So here I'm putting the two pieces together. I got real lucky and these fit together pretty smooth and tight first try. Here I am coming in with the flush cut saw to cut off the end of the pins after I put it together. And this pretty much wraps it up. I'm just going to plane off the edge so I can see how nice and smooth it is. And coming up, you're going to see a picture a little bit closer up of the 3 attempts that I made at cutting my hand cut dovetails. The larger piece in the middle is the last one I did. The one on the right side is the first one I did, and the one on the left side is the second one I did. So it takes a little practice. They do come out looking pretty good after just a few tries. So if you are giving this a try, give it a shot. Let me know what you think of the technique I'm using. If you have any tips to help me improve, I'd be happy to hear it. So if you could throw them down in the comments. Also, any comments you have about my video, let me know what you think. If you like this style video, if there's anything you think I should do to improve, I'd really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see some more, you can click on the links I have here at the end of the video. You can check out my other videos. If you enjoyed them, please hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell next to it so you can be notified when I have new videos coming out. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I appreciate it, and thank you for watching.